What is good, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're going to be giving you guys my updated Dark Magician deck profile. So after giving you guys the last deck profile and taking it online, I've realized that some cards were just missing, and honestly some other cards interrupted my other plays as well, so I decided to update the deck. And this is inspired by Loza with how the deck list is going when it comes to things like bond between teacher and student and your dark burning magic. So without further ado, let's just get straight to the deck profile. So we're starting off with 2 Dark Magician. I still believe that 2 Dark Magician is the correct play. You don't really want to open up with an extra Dark Magician as a brick. You want to get them out of the deck as soon as you can. So I believe that 2 Dark Magician is still the proper number to use. For the next card, we knocked down Veiler to 2. We're already playing Maxi, so Maxi gives you that opportunity to draw into like Veiler or anything else that you want, but you really want to open up with your combo pieces as well. So like I don't want to really like draw 2 Veiler within 1 Maxi and then like an Ash Blossom where I already used it. So you know what I mean. So 2 Veiler I still believe is enough. It still does what it needs to do. It's a hand trap, and I still play Needle Fiber, Selene, and Axis play. So Effect Veiler is actually really useful for that. For the next card, we have triple copies of Magician's Rod. It's still a very important card of the deck. Mainly I use this card to just go into Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl, sending it from deck to grave, because I might already have things like Dark Magical Circle or an Eternal Soul up, or I might just like have the setup for Dark Magical Circle and Eternal Soul, so I just want to like send the Dark Magician to grave as soon as I can, and this card helps me do that very well. Next card, we're playing Maxi. Literally everybody's playing Maxi, so we might as well play Maxi ourselves. So if you don't know what Maxi does already, during either player's turn, you can send this card from your hand to grave, and each time your opponent special summons a monster, you draw 1 card. So mainly you would activate Maxi in the response of a card or a monster effect that would special summon a monster. So you would automatically get 1 draw during if it's either your opponent's turn or your turn. The next card we're playing is triple copy of Magician's Rod. It searches any of your Dark Magician spell or trap cards that includes Dark Magical Circle, Soul Servant, Eternal Soul, Magician Salvation, or anything that you really want to get. For the next card, we're playing double copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. I kind of really regret not playing this last time, because like this would have really came up within the past duels with the past deck, and now I'm finally adding it in here. Only playing 2 copies of the card. It is a hard once per turn, and we're playing Maxi, so you have the opportunity of drawing into 1. So I really like the 2 Ash Blossoms, and Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring stops your opponent's Maxi as well whenever they would try to chain it into your special summon or anything like that. For the next card, Dark Magician Girl, Brick, you know what it means. I play it because of Magician Salvation to get an extra body on board, Soul Servant to get the max amount of draws that I can, and if I open this up, which I literally do almost all the time, and I have things like Secrets of Dark Magic, I could just fuse it away. And when it comes to a Princess Illusion Magician, I can discard the Dark Magician Girl that I might have opened up. So a Princess Illusion Magician still at 2. I really do think that this is a good card over here. Being able to discard a card, especially summon this card a hand, or you can save this card as a hand trap in order to boost up your Dark Spellcaster monsters by 2000 attack. So which is actually really useful. And when this card's normal special summon, you add a Dark Magician from deck to hand. Sometimes I don't really do that all that much, especially when I see Magician Souls in hand, because I do want to send the Dark Magician or the Dark Magician Girl to the graveyard. Next card, Monster Reborn, is just an extra extender for an extra body on board, or if your opponent say as if they interrupted something, like maybe like Magician Souls, you can just use Monster Reborn to revive the Dark Magician, since it was sending Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl for cost anyways. So I really do like the Monster Reborn. So new card we adding in here, Upstart Goblin. This, after I saw this in Loza's list, I said I need to play it, because Pot of Extravagance is a good card, but it's just the fact that once you use Pot of Extravagance, you cannot draw for the rest of the turn after that point. So it really conflicted with Soul Servant, because sometimes I would stack something with Soul Servant and I just can't draw after that because I already used Pot of Extravagance. So it's just it's just a better call to go with the Upstart Goblin, and it just gives me more opportunity to play more cards in my extra deck as well, instead of like playing double copies of everything else I need, so not everything gets banished. So for the next card, we're playing the one bond between teacher and student and the one copy of Dark Burning Magic. So you would go for Magician's Rod and Magician's Souls to go for Dark Bond between teacher and student with Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl on your end board, and with a set Dark Burning Magic, which allows you to destroy all cards that your opponent controls. So it's actually a pretty good card, especially when like your opponent already is like setting up their board and everything like that. Before, like right before the moment they pop off, you would just activate Dark Burning Magic and it would just like end their entire turn, or they might even scoop for that matter. Next card we're playing is Magician's Salvation. Still a good one of. Sometimes I would usually stack it off of Soul Servant to just draw it, and Magician's Salvation, you just set the Eternal Soul directly from deck. And this card is the reason why I'm also playing Dark Magician Girl, because if I special summon either Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl, I can just special summon the other one from graveyard anyways, so it's actually a really good card. Double copies of Dark Magical Circle. Sometimes you just, more than half the time I should say, you just don't whiff anything from the top 3 cards of your deck, but that's not really the thing that matters. The thing that matters from this card is that you, whenever you special summon a Dark Magician, you can target a card and banish it, which is actually a really good interruption. Dark Burning Magic, you already know the deal, destroys all cards your opponents control while you control Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl. Soul Servant, best card of your deck. You stack any card that mentions Dark Magician in this text, or Dark Magician itself, which would be like a very bricky sort of time if you would have to actually stack up Dark Magician, but that moment really doesn't come. And whenever this card is in the graveyard, you could banish it to draw up to the amount of cards that you could draw cards equal to the amount of Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girls you have, so most of the time it's just a pot of greed for your deck. So now in the next card we have Secrets of Dark Magic. It's just a fusion spell to either go for Dark Magician the Dragon Knight or the Dark Magicians. When it comes to Dark Magician the Dragon Knight, it's going to be Dark Magician and your Imduck after you link it away. Now for the traps, you're playing triple copies of Imperm. It's just another hand trap, and it's just like a really good interruption when you have no cards on board. It's actually a really good card, and when you set this card and you activate it, the column that this card was placed in negates the spells and trap cards activated in that column. So whenever your opponent would have like a very annoying spell or trap card on their field, you would just set this under within that same column. You would just, sometimes you might have to target a monster and negate its effect, depending on, just to save yourself from that spell or trap card, but more than half of the time is used. Just target a monster in my opponent's graveyard, special summon it, and you'll be able to banish one monster from both players' field that has the same type, warrior, spellcaster, etc. Next card, we got triple copy of Skill Drain. This deck can really play under Skill Drain very well, but whenever you're just in the situation that you might have to resolve Rod's effect, it's just really annoying. But that's honestly fine when you would activate Skill Drain after you kind of like got your board established, or it really just like stops your opponent from playing the game. A way to out this card is Magician's Souls, being able to send 2 spell or trap cards from either your hand or field to draw down main cards. Since you could still activate the effects, basically just paying cost, you could just send this card with Magician's Souls, and since it's out of the field by the time you would activate Magician's Souls effect, it resolves anyways. So this card really does like interrupt your opponent up to the right point, and you'll be able to just play the game on your turn. And for the last trap of the deck, we're playing double copies of Eternal Soul. Eternal Soul just revives your Dark Magician every turn, and with this card with Dark Magical Circle, it just basically means that you're just going to get constant banishes on your opponent's field. Now for the extra deck, we're playing the one copy of Dark Magician the Dragon Knight. This doesn't really come up all that much, but when it does, like, your back row is just protected for almost the rest of the duel. And just the fact that this card is treated as a Dark Magician, you'll be able to revive this card off of Eternal Soul anyways, so it's actually a really good card. Next card, we have the Dark Magicians. Dark Magicians actually really does come up handy, especially with the fact where, like, you may not whiff with Dark Magical Circle, you may not but that's okay. You'll be able to stack the card with whatever you want on top of your deck, like Max C, Ash Blossom, Effect Veiler, like Imperm, anything like that. You'll be able to just like you activate a card effect, a spell or trap card effect, or your opponent does, and you'll be able to draw a card. If it's a spell or trap card, you'll be able to set it on the field and use it this turn. And when this card is destroyed, you will be able to special summon both Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl from either hand, deck, or graveyard, which is also the third reason why I'm playing the Dark Magician Girl. So it's actually really good. For the XZs, we're playing one Norito. You do run Dark Magician Girl and Apprentice Illusion Magician, which are both level 6s, and it's not really as hard to summon this card as you might think, because sometimes if you have like your Magician Souls and Apprentice Illusion Magician in your opening hand, you'll be able to just special summon the Dark Magician Girl off a Magician Souls effect, so it's actually not that bad at all. Number 11, Big Eye. Being able to detach a card and taking control of your opponent's monster is actually really good. Sometimes you just get rid of your opponent's threat, and maybe you just get that extra body on board to try to go for game. Even though you might not be able to attack with Big Eye, that's okay. It's just being able to just interrupt your opponent's plays and interrupt your opponent's board as well. Ebon Illusion Magician. We do play 2 copies of Dark Magician, but mainly more than half the time you wouldn't want to summon this by overlaying into the Norito anyways, so you don't really go for hard summon Ebon Illusion Magician. But whenever this card is on field, you could be able to detach a material, special summon one normal spellcaster monster from your hand or deck, and whenever a normal spellcaster monster attacks without detaching a material, which is actually really good, you'll be able to target a card and banish it on field. With the next card, we have Red Eye Slayer Metal Dragon. This card will help you push for game. Like, say as if like your opponent has very low life points and you just can't attack with any more monsters, you overlay both Dark Magicians to go for Red Eye Flare. The only thing that sucks about it, you just can't detach the material to do anything, but that's fine if you are very close to game anyways. You just probably won't even need to go for the Dark Magician anyway. So that's going to be it for all the XZs. For the links, we're playing one Link Spider, one Imduck, one Artemis. All Link ones are really good Link ones. The Link Spider and the Imduck really does help you get the Dark Magician out of the field, so you'll be able to keep resolving Eternal Soul and Dark Magical Circle. Artemis, you just get your Magician's Rod out of the field, and whenever you activate a spell or trap card during your opponent's turn, you'll be able to tribute the Artemis instead of like anything else you really don't want. And it does give you that body to tribute just the spellcaster, because sometimes you might not even have anything else on board. One Needle Fiber, you play Ash Blossom and Effect Veiler, which are both tuners, so you'll be able to go for this easily, and you would mainly go for Effect Veiler off the special summoning effect to go into Selene. Selene builds up spell counters. With this deck, it's actually pretty easy to build up spell counters, especially with the fact that you're playing your copies of Upstart Goblin, which are easy spell counters to put on your Selene. And Selene would special summon a spellcaster monster by detaching 3 spell counters, and then after that point you would just go for Access Code Talker. After that, we have IP Masquerena. It's actually a really good card. Sometimes you just end up with the situation you have both Dark Magician and Magician's Rod on field, so you'll be able to link away both of those instead of like just using both your Imduck or your Artemis, your Link Spider and your Artemis. Actually, you can only really go for the Link Spider and the Artemis because of their link arrows, so it's actually really good just to go for the IP Masquerena. And with having cards like Eternal Soul, being able to just get the Dark Magician, and you'll be able to actually resolve IP Masquerena's effect anyways, so it's actually really good. The card you really go into with IP Masquerena is Nightmare Unicorn, to discard a card and bounce a card from field to deck. And sometimes if you have like more monsters on board, you can go for the Topologic Bomber, which is actually a really good card. So when it comes to Topologic Bomber, when if another monster is special summoned to a zone that this monster points to, you'll be able to destroy all monsters in the main monster zone. So mainly you would activate Eternal Soul to special summon Dark Magician to one of the link arrows below, and then you would either you would destroy all monsters on board. So this will be chain 1, and Magician's Rod will be chain 2, to be able to just destroy all monsters on board and get your resource back into your hand anyway, so it's actually really good. And even if you can't do that, Eternal Soul prevents your monsters from prevents your Dark Magician. Oh, never mind. You can't do that with Eternal Soul. But even if you have to destroy your own Dark Magician, it's fine because you do have Eternal Soul just to bring it back next turn anyways. So that's gonna be it for the Dark Magician deck. I really do like the upgrades that I actually made, especially with the from the Pot of Extravagances to Upstart Goblins to keep drawing after I activate Upstart Goblin, and the fact that I'm able to just have more flex spots in my extra deck to just play whatever I want, and these are all actually useful cards anyways. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you have a good day. Peace.